I've always wanted a motorcycle, but I've never ridden a motorcycle. But do you ever ride the Revel scooters?
Yeah, I've ridden scooters. I've ridden motorcycles. Anything with two wheels rules.
I have a Revel helmet in there that was liberated from a bike before they took them all.
Oh, because they got rid of them in the cities.
No more Revels.
Why did they get rid of them?
I just think it wasn't sustainable. It wasn't making money, and people were dying on them because people were idiots. But I used to ride them everywhere. I loved them. I was so bummed when they discontinued them because I was good at riding them. I never had any close calls. I would ride them from show to show on a nice summer day, like flip my hat backwards, put the helmet on, put my phone in the holder, turn on some good music, and just cruise around Brooklyn. Oh, it was awesome.
Yeah, I've welcome to the podcast, Cowboy Boys podcast. Joining us again is Matt Bachus. I used to ride a motorcycle around Salt Lake City, a CB 1100. A Honda CB 1100, and I would ride. Motorcycle is the most dangerous thing you can own.
Right.
It's something like there's some like statistic where it's like 60% of on-road fatalities. Maybe not that high. It's like 40% are like from motorcycles.
Right.
And of all the people driving on the road, it's like only 4% are motorcycles. So 40% of the fatalities are coming from 4%. It's a really bad.
Yeah.
And I understand why. I think the average lifespan of someone who buys a bullet bike, the average life or the life expectancy is 6 months. If you
they buy it, they're like within 6 months they'll be dead.
Yeah. It's that crazy, but that's the average, which means there's people like me who are like, all right, I really need to be careful. I wore like all the full gear, and I never bought a bullet bike too, so I bought a normal Japanese. What do they call it? Japanese style motors? JSR? Something. They have an acronym, but I bought a motorcycle that I specifically knew would not go over 150 miles. It was not like a crazy bike. It was just a fun bike to ride around and pretty powerful, but not bad. And I would I would ride with other people who were not safe. Yeah. And I was like, oh, I'm not riding with groups. I'm never riding with groups. I did this once, twice. I can't. I was watching you almost slam in the back of a car. So I knew, like, I went into it with all these rules, and even then I was still like some old lady looking right at me, just looking, and then pulling out in front of me. I'm like, I can't. You're gonna die on them.
Yeah, it's
the most fun I've ever had. It's knowing that you will probably die. It's still worth it to get a motorcycle. It's so I'm saying, don't. If your life is good, don't. But if it's not going, like, whatever, fuck it. Motorcycle rules. It's so fun. But the average lifespan of someone who buys a bullet bike, so average is 6 months. Life expectancy, sorry, I keep saying. Which means some people like me probably have a life expectancy of 8 months. But the other people who just buy them have 2 months. That's insane. But you see those people, you instantly know them. I think I just have been watching, they call it floating. And those are the people who like buy BMWs and like you drive through traffic here. You ever see them on the freeway? Fly it, like weaving diagonally through all the cars. Right. It's called floating.
On a bike?
Not on a bike. You can, but just in like in the cars.
Just cutting in and out is called floating.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
I found a bunch of floating videos on YouTube and watching them get in accidents and like do burnouts and stuff. And it's like, oh, this is kind of an interesting thing that people do. Yeah,
I would see people on Revels and I would be like, this person should not be on them, because I do think they were too accessible. I don't know why. I felt very comfortable on it. I felt like I was, pretty responsible and safe, and but you see some people and they're like, they think it's just like a bike. It's like, no, this is a different thing. And it was just a Revel scooter. So I can't imagine a motorcycle. People think, it'd be cool to have one. They have no idea what they're in for.
New York, it would be better if a lot of more people had scooters here. If it was all fucked up like India or like China, which is all the little scooters.
Yeah.
I think it would help traffic more, but it would cause so many accidents. I love seeing a little Hispanic guy driving the wrong way up a sidewalk, delivering something. I'm
wild.
Like, or those thank e-bikes. You for your service.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to work a clutch, so I think that's gonna keep me from getting a motorcycle.
It's easy. Did you ever ride? Do you know how to drive a manual car?
Mm-mm.
Did you ever ride 4-wheelers?
No.
Oh, then it's not going to be easy.
Never.
Yeah. I think once you learn, it's super easy.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I have this fantasy where one day I can get a motorcycle.
That's the one thing. If you do get a motorcycle, I highly, highly recommend taking the motorcycle safety course to get your license.
So before I moved to New York and before I started stand-up comedy, I had a job at a law firm. I had a good job at a law firm. I had my own parking spot, and me and one of the attorneys signed up for a class that we were going to go take together. Yeah, we went and looked at motorcycles together. We picked out which ones we were going to get. And then I moved to New York and started comedy, and
he's dead.
And he might be.
Died,
I don't know.
He died in a motorcycle accident.
I haven't seen or heard from him, so he might be. I hope not. He was the only good attorney at that office.
I remember going around bike shopping.
Pretty chill.
I remember looking around. I went to the Triumph motorcycle.
That's what we looked at. We looked at Triumphs.
And I remember going and looking at the Triumph and being what is it? There's a part on it. It has to do with I'm forgetting the name. The brass floats sit inside of the carburetor. Mm-hmm. The carburetor, because I also used to have a 1963 Superhawk Honda motorcycle.
That's awesome.
It was the bike. Is it James Dean? I think James D. Or it's a bike Zen and the Artist motorcycle maintenance is written about. And I can't remember if it's James Dean or someone else, but that used to be their motorcycle they would ride around back in the 60s. I found it in some old grandma. I was mowing lawns, and this grandma just had it sitting in her backyard. And I was like, I'll give you $800 for it. She's like, okay. So I fixed it up, and I had a 1963 Superhawk, which was so fun.
That's incredible. What happened to it?
I sold it because I moved.
How much did you sell it for?
Probably like $1,500 or $2,000. I didn't lose money on it, but I did not want to let it go. It was so sick and tidy and fast. God. So then I bought the exact same, or not the same family of bike. I had a 2013 Honda CB1100, and so I can always tell like who didn't take the motorcycle safety course. Those are the people almost slamming in the back of cars and stuff. But I remember going to the Triumph thing, and they don't have the carburetors. They have fake carburetors. So it's like plastic molded, look like fake carburetors, and they're fuel injected, which is so stupid. Like Triumph is like, look, it looks old. It looks old and shitty technology, but we just use, and I guess that's like for like an office type, a lawyer type guy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's not really my thing. So then I went to Ducati. Oh. And the Ducati dealer was one of the funniest. He's like, what's up, bro? Dude, I know what bike you want. You want this bike. And he just points to the front one in the front. He's like, you're going to get so much pussy with this. And I'm like, all right, man, that's not what I'm looking for a motorcycle for. I'm like, actually, I'm looking for like this style. He's like, you don't want that. You want this. You want this. And I was like, what the fuck is this guy telling me? I don't know what I'm looking for.
That's not what you want. That's what you think you want.
And so I'm like, I wasn't mad at him because I'm like, I bet that sales pitch works 100%. On the guy, on people who do buy Ducatis that aren't me.
Yeah, 100%.
Because I'm like, no, I actually was researching this online, and I was looking for this specific bike, and I'm a big dweeb and asshole about this.
I did my research.
I do it, and he's like, nah, we were speaking.
But then there's some guys that are like, this will get me pussy. I'll take it.
Yeah.
Sign me up.
Damn, I would have lived I would have been dead, and I would have been dead from all the pussy I was crashing into.
Yeah,
on my Ducati.
I wanted it was a Triumph. It was like a bike from like the Bourne Identity. It was like a speed triple or something. Is what I think it was. Yeah. I thought that.
Which one is that? Is that just like the? Oh, is it like the look old, or is it their?
No, it's like kind of looks like a European thing. It's like it's not quite like a Ducati, like a speed, like a fast bike. It's not like a Honda.
Oh, okay, yeah,
yeah.
It's I think it's like just a street bike.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a street bike, but it's like European, and it doesn't. Yeah,
that's kind of like what my CB1100 was, but this is a little more sporty.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at.
That's nice.
Yeah,
I was looking at the adventure sport, the like tall Triumph.
Yeah,
the one you take camping.
Yeah,
those
with the big things on the back. Mm-hmm. I remember doing that in the last episode. We talked about the biker rally I did, and one of the jokes that got one of the only jokes that got anyone's attention was I did a joke about how I think motorcycles are so cool, but it's so funny to me that how there are 3-wheeled motorcycles.
Those are cool.
They're not cool.
For grandpas.
They're not cool. You don't get to be like, I'm a fucking badass, but I'm afraid to tip over.
I used to be a badass.
No.
What about the ones with 2 wheels on the front? What are those? The spiders?
Yeah.
Those are cool. Hey, some people are dorks and they want to be cool.
That's exactly what they said when I said. I like made that joke and like they were like all pointing at like people in the audience, being like, "He has one, he has one."
Outing each other.
A lady rushed the stage and picked me up and like shook me around. It was really funny.
Damn.
But yeah, I just think it's funny. I mean, there's nothing wrong with having one, but just know that it's not as cool as having 2 wheels.
What about one wheel? Do you think that was cooler?
Oh, one wheeled? Does that exist? A one-wheeled motorcycle?
They have those. All those fine fintech dorks riding the
one wheels.
Oh yeah, the people in New York.
I want like a unicycle with an engine. That's what I want.
No, they have those, right?
Really?
Because they have the skateboards with one wheel, which I think those are discontinued because the company, like, the brakes didn't work on them or something, and people would fly off. But they have now. We're gonna start seeing them now. This summer in New York is the really crazy one. It's like the wheel that you stand parallel to.
Oh yeah.
It's the electric wheel, so it's one wheel, and you like lean forward.
Oh yeah, I have seen that. And guys wear full body armor and helmets when they ride them.
They
sometimes.
Probably should.
Yeah,
because those ones go flying. I've seen them like hauling through New York.
Yeah,
and with our streets here, like
how would you not just hit a pothole and eat it?
See, they probably. I don't know. If you keep it slow. Maybe it's the
Those
danger.
guys
I get it. It's
slow.
The danger.
Yeah.
Dude, a dangerous vehicle. I would never want to. I don't want a Tesla. They're too safe. It drives for you. I want like I think my dream car is like the Porsche 928 from Risky Business, the like bubbly, curvy one. I want a manual car that brakes because I fucked up the switching. I want old. I want it to kill me. If I crash, I want to die. I don't want to be think of how shameful it is after you roll your car and you're like, I guess I'm safe.
I guess I'm alive. Well, a lot of people are like, luckily I'm alive. And you're like, damn it.
Now everyone's going to know I crashed my car like a little bitch.
Well, you get your story straight. There was a banana peel on the road. I hit it. It sent me spinning.
I was looking at porn on my phone.
Yeah. I was trying not to hit that motorcycle in front of me.
Yeah, you should. Every man out there within earshot, you should get a motorcycle, and you're gonna die soon from it. Unless you're, I don't know. I think you know yourself. If you have been able to have a bunch of unprotected sex and never catch anything because of how smart you are, not because of just the roll of the dice. You take calculated risks, is what I'm saying.
You think New York's a bad city to have a motorcycle in? It seems like it'd be a good one.
I think it's a pretty good one.
Yeah.
If you have a garage.
See, that's one of the reasons I don't have one, is because I don't have anywhere to park it.
There's going to be 2 people that will steal your bike here. 1, criminals.
Yes.
Criminals will absolutely pull up in a car, chop the chain, throw your bike in the back of whatever.
That happened to my friend of mine.
Yeah, very common here. The second one is the NYPD. The New York Police Department they just steal legal registered bikes off the street because it wasn't parked right. Because it's easier to tow. They love towing and like moving cars around. Yeah. But if it's a bike, if they see anything wrong with it, or they'll do like traffic stops where I saw a video of them just like blocking traffic for a little bit, like on the freeway, and waiting for motorcycles to weave through, and then arresting the motorcycle people. Wow! And I was told people, they're like, that doesn't exist. That's your lie. And I'm like, it's real. Yeah, it's a video I'm watching. I'll send you the video.
I believe it.
You have to watch out for the cops and criminals if you have a motorcycle. If you have a garage here, it's absolutely the move. Except I think the fees, the taxes might get you.
Insurance is probably a motherfucker too.
Insurance probably. Insurance might be good.
I had a friend of mine that had a bike, and he had his bike stolen, and he showed me a video of these guys just pull up, chop the chain, and then load it in the back of a van.
Yeah, that thing's gone.
Yeah, they got it back.
What?
But it was all beat up.
Then just joyrided it?
I don't know what happened, but he got it back. They found it.
Wow. They got it. He got it back.
Yeah.
I don't believe you.
He showed me a video. He showed me a picture of it.
Yeah.
He showed me a picture of it. It was all scratched and beat up.
Would you be more pissed if... See, I think if a criminal takes it, I'm like, that's on me. I left it out. If the police get it, I'd be so pissed.
Yeah, of course.
It's like, I'm paying taxes. It's completely legal and registered, and you're still harassing me. Yeah. Let me lane split. Why don't you? Although I think it's probably really easy to run from them here. I bet they don't pursue you at all, especially in their little shitty SUVs.
Yeah, well, that's why you have like all those in the summer. You have those like dirt bike guys.
The 12 o'clock boys?
Yeah.
How do you feel about them?
I think it's great.
I love when they roll through, because it's like a 30-second event.
Yeah.
It's like a little mini parade.
Yes, I was just about to say, it's like a little parade.
There's 60 black guys all doing wheelies and on the four-wheelers. I'm like, hell yeah, that's so sick.
It's a cool thing and it only happens here. I only see it here.
It happens, it's big in Philadelphia.
Yeah?
There's a documentary, and it's called The 12 O'Clock Boys.
Okay, that's cool. I never saw it in Indy. I've never seen it anywhere else.
Yeah, I think it's an East Coast thing.
It's fucking awesome.
It's probably Baltimore, Philly, New York. I don't know Boston, but
there's always the guy that like has like the goofy scooter in the back that can't do the wheelie, but he's like, I'm part of the crew.
No, they let it. It's just a big group of guys having slightly illegal fun. What's wrong with that?
Yeah.
What do you want them to do? It's better than doing anything else.
Yeah, they're not doing anything violent.
And it's like they just pass through. They're having fun, not hurting anyone. It's not blocking traffic you can wait 2 minutes. What I hate is in my neighborhood, there's a guy who has chopped off his muffler, and he's just like 3-4 times a day.
Yeah,
it's the loudest shit, and I'm like, it's embarrassing hearing you drive by my window doing the same. Like, you're not even going fast. Your motorcycle sucks.
Yeah,
and it's the same with like Honda Civics that are like in 4th or 5th gear, and they're so loud, and like it's
barely moving.
You're going 40 miles an hour.
Yeah.
This is embarrassing for both of us. Me watching you and you watching. Like, ugh.
I had a Pontiac Grand Am with like dual exhaust that was like chrome, and it was loud as fuck, but it was just like unnecessary.
Gutless?
What's that?
Was it gutless, or
I don't know what that means.
Did it not have guts, or was it like slow?
No.
Okay, it was good.
It was good, but
it was extra loud because it was also powerful.
Yeah.
That's I don't mind that.
It was unnecessary.
That's cool.
It was fucking awesome. I would just come through the neighborhood, and everyone would know. Like, my neighbors would be like, "Well, we knew Matt was home because we could hear the car."
How old are you?
I think I got it when I was like 18.
Nice.
I probably had it when I was 18 to 23.
Yeah, I get that.
And I crashed it.
You crashed it? How?
I was driving.
Was it funny?
No, it was fucking sad.
Oh, no.
No, it wasn't sad. It was just a bummer. I was driving Henry Phillips. You know Henry Phillips? He's a comedian in LA.
Is that Henry Phillips?
From Punching a Clown.
Oh, okay.
He's got a couple movies. I was driving him to Bob and Tom, and
you were driving him to Bob and Tom.
You know what that is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. I'm very familiar with Bob and Tom.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Bob and Tom was the shit.
They was.
Yeah. I used to have all their albums, and that was like, I remember doing Bob and Tom for the first time, and everybody being like, "You're fucking made it. You're famous."
Oh, you did Bob and Tom.
Oh, I did it like 3 times.
Wow. How was it?
One time, it was awesome.
Are they still alive?
Yeah. Bob is not doing the show anymore, but Tom is still.
Yeah, they had a falling out.
Doing it. I just think Bob retired. I think they're still friends, and Bob has cancer. He has a podcast. I did it the first time. It was awesome. I was nervous. The second time was fine, and then the third time I got in trouble because I cursed and I forgot it wasn't a podcast and you can't say shit. So I said shit on the radio, and they were like, and they cut me off. But I was driving Henry Phillips to Bob and Tom, and I like did a check to make sure I can get over, and then I started to get over, and I like checked again real quick, and then just a lady just came up and slammed into the side of me, broke my fucking nose against the glass of the car, and totaled it.
Just an old lady.
Just a nurse on her way to work.
Oh, that's what I'm saying.
And she was like, "What the fuck's wrong with you?" And I was like, "I don't know. I probably shouldn't be bleeding from my face. You should,
help me out. It's your job.
Yeah.
Do no harm."
Yeah.
Was it your fault or hers?
It was my fault.
Yeah.
Because I like looked and then I just didn't check my blind spot, or I don't know. It was my fault.
I think she was speeding. And then.
I think she was trying to beat the light.
Oh.
But whatever, what are you going to do? But yeah, totaled the car. It sucked. I love that car.
I remember, though, driving with Henry Phillips in the car?
Yeah. They had to send some. I was the only person that got hurt. Just broke my nose. I did shows that night, though, with a big swollen up nose and a concussion. But yeah, they had to send somebody from the radio station to pick him up.
And you were just the only one available, or?
Well, that was my thing when I was early on in comedy. I would drive the comedians to radio in the morning sometimes.
I think that's just like whatever comics are around the club.
Yeah.
It happens. I remember one time after Joey Coco Diaz was performing at Wise Guys, and I've talked about this. I've never seen anyone kill harder than him. Before the show, we're in the green room, and he gets a weed Rice Krispies edible thing, and it's like 200 milligrams of weed. It's huge.
That's insane.
It was some insane number.
I had a Rice Krispie treat today. Underrated snack.
A weed one?
No.
Oh, regular. Just normal. They're really good. But there's probably like 10 comics in the room, and he takes like a quarter of it. And he's like, yeah, this is, and then he starts passing around like, you guys finish off. There's so much weed. He's smoking weed. So they're Utah comic. They all like take little nibbles and like, I'm good. Yeah. And I'm like, it gets to me at the end. I'm like, I guess I'll eat the other half of this. And I eat it, and I'm getting so high. Like, we were there way early hanging out with him in the green room. Oh, it was in between shows. Watch the first show, he kills. In between the second show, he looks over at me in the green room. He's like, "You're feeling it now, cocksucker!" Like that classic thing. And I'm like, "Oh fuck, I'm so high." The second show, I was just high, out of my mind, high, watching him kill a full room of 200 people. So, I'm just hanging around watching. All the comics leave. I'm the only one with a car. He doesn't have a thing. So the club owner's like, "Hey, can you drive him back to his hotel?" And I'm like, yeah, I guess. I'm so high out of my mind. And he's like, yeah, I'm just over, whatever. And I'm like, okay. And I go down in the Gateway Mall where the club is at. It has a parking garage, which only has like 3, maybe 4 levels. Uh-huh. And I parked at the like lowest one. And I literally was doing laps. Like I went around 8-9 times because I got lost. Because you just drive up. You just drive up in one little swirl. Yeah. But I was like, I go to my car and it took me like 30 minutes.
To pull around to get him, or he was in the car?
To pull around to escape the parking garage.
But was he in the car with you?
No, he was not in the car. He was waiting at the club. Oh. So it took me like 30 minutes to climb up. There's no traffic. Yeah. I just got lost in a parking garage. And I'm just supposed to go up. It's a tiny parking garage. So I finally, 30 minutes, I'm like, I'm driving. I pull up to the club and he's sitting right there. He's like, all right, thank you. Hands me more weed, like just that he's been getting. Yeah. And he's like, all right, here's the directions to the hotel I'm staying at. It's 1 block away. I just have to go straight and turn to the right. Yeah. And I literally drive him 1 block. And he's like, thank you so much.
Like, you waited 30 minutes for that.
Yeah, it took him. Funny. I guess Utah's big blocks, but I'm like, why did he have me drive him? Yeah. What? It took me longer to get out of the parking garage because I'm so hot, and then I got out of my car and I did not drive anymore. But it was just like, what the hell was that? Why did he make me drive him 1 block to his hotel? Super nice guy.
When was that? What year was that?
That was probably 2016 or 2017.
I've never met him. I met Ari Shaffir one time, and he gave me, I didn't host for him, but he gave me a bunch of weed.
Oh, nice.
That was cool.
Yeah, because when you're headlining a place, you get a bunch, like, especially if you're like known for it. Yeah. You get people will like hand you stuff, and then they're like, well, I can't take this on the flight with me, so you just pass it. Trickle down drugonomics with all the comics. I had to score him a bunch of mushrooms.
Oh, are you? Yeah.
I woke up my roommate who was asleep at the time.
Like, hey, and he's like, these.
And it was like, hey, Ari Shaffir's here. He's like, what?
He knew who it was?
I told him it was. Ari just wanted me to my house so I could sell him mushrooms. Yeah. I didn't sell them. Someone else did. I had to wake that person up. That's the story I'm sticking to. You what?
So I miss getting free weed and smoking weed.
What, you still don't, or you just don't take it?
I don't do anything anymore.
What, did you sober up?
I got sober. I got 22 months, 21 months.
Wait, did you sober? Mm-hmm. Did you have a problem?
Yeah.
Oh.
So I got sober.
What was here? Can we talk about it?
Sure.
What did you do? Just everything?
Everything. Anything you had, I would have done it.
That's what I kind of am. I don't get invited to a lot of parties, but at parties, if someone's like, "Here, take this," I'm like, "Okay."
That's what I was doing. People would be like, "Put your hand out." I would put my hand out. They put it in my hand. I would eat it, and then they would go, "Don't you know what that was first?" And I go, "I mean, I was gonna eat it either way."
You had one too, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, no. I'm
Yeah.
like, all right. Whatever.
So it was one of those situations where if they put it in my hand, it was going down. So yeah, I had to quit.
You did quit doing that, or like
Quit
no,
doing all-
no booze,
Nothing. No booze.
no
no
weed,
nothing. No weed.
no
No sex. No
ketamine?
drugs. No weed. No women. No.
No.
No weed. No drinking. I haven't had anything. And
It's better for you.
Yeah.
I remember early 20s. When I started smoking weed, I would just come home from work and just rip a bong until I passed out.
Yeah.
My roommates are like, "You look like you're in pain when you're high," because I'd just be on the couch like, all palsied and like curled in a ball. And so I hit like 26, 27. I'm like, I don't think I need to anymore.
Yeah.
So now it's probably like once a year when someone's like, "Let's do it." I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
But
I miss smoking weed. It was so fun. But I miss all of it. I miss doing mushrooms and acid on my. I was just cleaning out my room because I'm moving to the new room, and I found like these. I threw it away, but I found this old Lego like McLaren. And for my 30th birthday, we went to Rhode Island at a beach house, took a bunch of acid, and built Lego cars, and it was just really fun and silly.
was it fun? I couldn't do that on acid.
It was fun.
It wouldn't be fun for me. I'd be like, the blocks are like what. This is, if I'm looking at a little Lego man, I'm like, that's me, and these blocks represent all the walls I've built in my life.
Oh no, it was fun.
Everyone's building like little sets, and I'm like, these instructions must be what God feels like.
Yeah.
I would extrapolate too much.
No, it was cool. But yeah, I missed doing that. And then the last time I took mushrooms, I took a shitload of mushrooms. Like I brought some to share with my friend, and he was like, "Nah, I'm not gonna take them." I was like, "I guess I'm gonna eat all of them." And I
go to waste.
I ate so much, and
Recommend that? Was it more than 5 grams?
oh, way more.
10?
It was like way more. It was like a whole bag, like a pouch, like a pre-sealed, like buy it from a store pouch kind of thing.
Good trip, bad trip?
It started out really good, and then it started to last way too long. And we were at Dead & Co. And I've seen Dead & Co. 3 times, and this was the
What's Dead & Co?
Dead &
Grateful
Company.
Dead?
Yeah, Grateful Dead, but like John Mayer.
Okay.
And it was great. I went twice. They were awesome both times. The third time I went,
Are you a Deadhead?
I mean, I'm not a Deadhead, but I like the Grateful Dead. I like the songs I like.
I can appreciate some of them. I'm a big Ween guy.
Oh, see, I only know I'm that way with Ween. I'm not a big Ween guy, but I like a couple of the songs.
No, Ween is like my favorite band, and then I hate Fish.
Yo, Fish is the worst band ever.
Fish sucks.
They suck.
Did you see that video of the guy at the Fish concert like back in October
No.
who gouged his own eyes out?
No.
So if you there's a video of a guy, it's like at some stadium, and he's like screaming in front of like the hot dog stands, and people are running up to help, and then when they see what's wrong with him, they're like, actually no, they'd run away, and it's just some guy like he almost looks like he's drunk screaming, but he's who knows what he's on because it's Fish.
Yeah.
And he just has 2 holes in where his eyes should be, and blood pouring down his face. Shirt's off, and he's just like screaming, and people are trying to help
He just
him.
Poked his own eyes out?
He did something. I think he
Oh
ripped his
my
own eyes
God.
out
I
on
did not
whatever.
see that.
And I'm like, that's what Fish music makes me want to do. Did you
Whoa.
see Drew Carey
No.
tweeting last night
No.
about Fish?
No.
Speaking of mushrooms.
Was he on mushrooms, you think?
Oh, he's on something.
Wow.
Because Drew Carey,
Is a fish head?
I guess, yeah, Drew Carey likes to... I've seen Drew Carey likes to hang out with Duncan Trussell.
I did know that. I know
And,
he's
like-
friends with Brendan Walsh.
Yeah, Brendan Walsh is so funny.
Brendan Walsh was the first comedian I ever hosted for.
Whoa! So anyways, here's Drew Carey at Fish yesterday or a day or 2 ago. Hashtag Fish at the hashtag Sphere. I swear I just talked to God. I would give you all my money, stick my dick in a blender, and swear off pussy for the rest of my life in exchange for this. Bro, I met God tonight for
Whoa,
real.
that's cool
I feel like
looking.
I got saved by Jesus, no lie. And he's like filming all the stupid visuals
Okay,
in
the
the
visuals
Sphere.
are kind of cool though.
No, I hate visuals.
Really? That looks good. But imagine you're on acid. That's awesome.
And no, I'm too in my own head. So they do look cool though. But then this tweet, this is what it must feel like to come with a pussy, because if it's even close, I'm flying to wherever tomorrow to getting the best pussy money can buy. I don't need to be a man no more. It means I can feel like this all the time. Fucking keep it, bro. If I can get this feeling instead, that was God at work or something. Like it felt like I was being saved by Jesus, not like he's just tweeting this.
Oh my God, the Price is Right.
The old Price is Right guy in the Vegas sphere. I think it's mushrooms and Molly.
It's got to be.
I think it's a combination of.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Because I never get like that lovey-dovey on mushrooms, or I got a little bit, but
yeah.
Would you recommend taking the entire bag by yourself?
I don't regret doing it. I wouldn't recommend it, but I don't regret doing it because it made for a good story and it made for an experience.
Did you have any in?
No.
You didn't have any discoveries about yourself?
No. I remember I did acid for the first time when I was 14.
Oh.
And I was in Indiana and we would do acid a lot in high school.
What? You would just do acid in high school as kids?
Yeah.
That's fun.
I told you, man, I did not do well in school.
Yeah.
Because, but we would take acid and walk through the cornfields and we would go out.
Did you just have like a friend?
Uh-huh.
Oh, and he's just like, I couldn't get any weed, but I have acid.
We could get weed and acid.
I know, but
and
most kids are like stealing beers.
Yeah,
and cigarettes.
Not us. We had weed. We did acid, mushrooms, and what's the thing? What's the drug? The ADHD thing?
Adderall.
Adderall. Yeah, we'd take Adderall, stay up for days.
Yeah.
But yeah, it made for a good story and it was a fun time, but it was too much. It wasn't a good trip.
Yeah, I can't imagine tripping at 14. I'm going to do drugs in front of my kids so that it's like lame to them.
Oh, yeah.
And so I'm like, yeah, I'm going to go, hey, kids, I'm just going to go do mushrooms in the back with your hippie mom. If you need anything, just let me know.
Yeah.
Like be way too chill.
Yeah.
To make it like, this is, drugs are still, that's my plan if I ever have
Make
kids.
them think you have to wear like slacks to do it.
Oh, yeah, put on
my mushroom slacks.
Put on a goofy Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah,
and be like,
my khakis.
All right, you guys.
And my button-ups. Yeah, I don't know. When I was 14, it was cool. When I was in high school, it was cool. Because I remember walking through... It's like I lived in the middle of nowhere, so I remember walking through and seeing all these colors and looking up in the sky, and I feel like I had that moment where I saw the sky rip open, and I remember being like, "Oh, I got everything figured out." But then there was like a thing in the sky that was like, "Yeah, you have all the answers, but you're not going to be able to remember any of them." And I had that then, and then from that point forward, I never really had like when I took the mushrooms at the Dead & Co show, I didn't feel anything. I mean, I felt it, but I didn't feel like there wasn't like an awakening or, you know what I mean?
You didn't feel like cutting your dick off and
yeah,
putting it
there
in
was
a
none of
blender
that.
and getting a pussy because...
Yeah, no. There wasn't any of that. But it was, the last time I did it was wild. We ended up, speaking about revels, we ended up like I took a bunch. I was fucking tripping. And they do intermissions at the Dead & Co shows because they're so long.
Yeah.
And this had been around the time when there had been a really famous, like, infamous mass shooting. So they do the intermission and all these weird lights come on. It becomes very much like we're at an event, and they do these announcements over the intercom. It's very strange announcements where they were like, in the event of emergencies, move. And so immediately I'm like, what's going I'm like, what's going on? I'm like, oh my God. I go, what's going? And we were in a bad seat where the lights were on us, and I was like,
so you feel like a spotlight's right on you?
Yes, and I was like, oh my God. I was like, did I do this? And Jack was like, no, they're just old. Grateful Dead is old. They need a break. And I was like, no, man, I did this. This is my fault. I was like, they stopped playing me because of me. And he's like, no, they just need a break. And then he was like, are you okay? And I was like, I just need somebody to tell me I'm okay. And he was like, you're okay. And I go, no. I go, you're too close to me. I go, you're going to lie to me. I go, I got to find somebody that doesn't know me.
You need a stranger.
So then I was like, a couple people over, and I was like, am I okay? And there was like a guy and his dad, and they're like, yeah, you're fine. And I was like, okay, I'm so sorry. And they're like, you're not doing anything.
That's so funny. That has to be 10,000 people at every Deadhead show.
Yeah.
Am I okay right now? Am I on fire?
Yeah.
Do my parents love me? And they just have like ushers. Every 10 people be like,
Dude,
you're okay.
Yeah.
Just like a big black lady be like, it's fine.
He
And
kept
just
trying to
give
be
you
like,
a
you're
hug.
okay. And I'd be like, no, you are lying to me. You can't be telling the truth. You're too close. I got to find somebody that doesn't know me. And then
that's pretty smart. Because your friends would lie to you.
Exactly. The intermission ends, and they play Althea. Althea is my favorite Grateful Dead song. And I'm like, all right, that's good. And then the song ends, and he's like, do you want to go? And I go, I need to leave. But then we're leaving, and I'm like, the police are after me. They're waiting for me. I was like, the police are waiting for me outside.
Yeah.
And
because they're cops, so there's...
Yeah, so we're going, and we go down the stairs, and sure enough, we leave. And of course, it's a concert. There's police everywhere. So then there's police there, and I go, I fucking knew it.
Yeah.
So then we like quickly run, get on a train. The train's a nightmare. It feels like a train in a movie where like the lights are like beep, 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 like buzzing. Get off the train, get onto a Revel. I get on the back of a Revel. He's driving. He's not on anything, but he's like driving us on a Revel, and I'm like, that's the peak of the trip where I was like, grooving.
You're moving.
He's like weaving. We cut across like the Pulaski Bridge, and we like go up on a sidewalk to turn around. Turn around as the semi's coming. We're like racing the semi, and then we got home, and I remember going into that bathroom and then coming out, and it was like over. Like it was like going to the bathroom and coming out. It was all over.
It ends suddenly. You're like, oh, I'm so tired.
Yeah, God, it was such a wild time, but it was such a long day, and yeah. No.
So why'd you quit? Can I ask why?
I just was doing too many drugs.
Too much of everything?
Too much of everything.
Too much drinking, too much weed?
Too much drinking. Weed would lead to drinking. Drinking would lead to cocaine, and then there was a lot of cocaine.
Okay.
So if you look closely on this table, you might be able to still see something.
I'll do some if you got it.
If
you have anything you want me to take home, get out of your hair.
Yeah, no,
I
can't have it around. Yeah, I can't have it around.
No, I think growing up Mormon made me like not susceptible. It's one of those things where they didn't done studies where if we can get kids to smoke before they turn 19, before your like prefrontal cortex is like locked in when you become an adult at 25, we have a customer for life. So there's like a lot of stuff where it becomes like really addictive. And because I didn't have my first beer till I was like 23, I feel like I was just like, I don't know, I do it. It's fun. I'm kind of I'm still like Mormon about drugs.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's fun once a year to do a thing.
Yeah.
So
yeah, no,
I was being at a party.
Regular weekend thing.
I remember being at a party where they're also I think I'm like retarded and have ADHD. So like Adderall, I can't abuse Adderall. It just works. It's just like, oh, I should go clean my room.
Yeah.
I'm gonna clean my room at a normal pace instead of like a college kid like stimming. I'm just like, oh, I feel like I have free will to do whatever I need to be doing. But I was at a party where this comic was like, hey, you want to do coke? I'm like, sure, I've never tried coke before. I would love to.
Yeah.
And he does a line, I do a line. He's like, how do you feel? And I'm like, I feel nothing. And he does a line, I do a line. I'm like, how do you feel? Nothing. He does a line. It's 3 lines over like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Starts getting a nosebleed. And I'm like, I'll try one more. I don't feel anything. And I'm like, I don't know if I was doing like snorting it wrong.
Yeah.
So I'm like, he's like, do more till you feel it. I'm like, I don't want to waste your money.
Yeah.
So I've never been like into that.
Yeah.
Because it's expensive and I don't think it works on it. Probably people are like, it would work. I'm like, maybe if it's pure.
It was expensive, and it was like, I don't know. It was like a weekend thing, and then it became like, we're gonna go to a show on a Wednesday. So then it was a Wednesday thing, and then it was like, well, it's almost Friday, so let's just do it. So then it became like a 14-day bender sort of thing.
14 days.
It was like a 2-week bender where I was like, damn, we've done snoots all night, every night, and waking up, and it's like cliche, but you're like you're like up till like 7 a.m. Birds are chirping. There's people in the apartment that I don't like.
Yeah,
and I'm like, I can't do this anymore. And then you look at why you're doing it, and you're like, well, this used to be a thing I was doing because I thought it was fun and cool, and now it's a thing where I'm like doing it for bad reasons. And I was like, there were some nights where I went to bed where I was like, I might not wake up tomorrow, and I kind of hope I don't.
Because you're so fucked up?
Yeah. It was a lot of cocaine, and cocaine's really bad for you. And it would be a point where somebody would leave a line on the counter, on the table, and it would be like, whose is this? And I'd be like, that must be mine.
Yeah.
And then
it's my house.
I would just rail it, and it was just like I was trying to kill myself, and trying to make it look like an accident. Oh. And so then I got sober, and now things are okay.
Nice.
I mean, things are still bad, but it's just my life is better now.
But now you get to feel the bad.
Yeah, it's great.
You get to really feel it.
Yeah, it's great. But my life is I talk about it on stage. But my life did get better when I stopped doing drugs, which was a real bummer because I was like, well, it can't be the drugs. It was the drugs.
You have one problem and then you solve it. And you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was hoping for more character development.
Yeah.
Instead of a simple little answer.
But I had a lot of good memories. This is not all bad. The roller coaster ride to the top was really fun. A lot of bars. We used to, walk down the street and somebody would you do a bump off a sidewalk, like just walking down the street in New York City, just doing a key bump, and you're like, this is wild.
Oh, your own.
Yeah.
Not from someone offering you.
No.
Not a stranger.
No.
But, which would be fun.
No, but you do meet a lot of friends that way. a lot of people at bar. I've come to realize that if you're part of if you're at a bar at 4 a.m., people are going to think you have coke because people just walk up to me like, you got coke?
Mm-hmm. You're like, no, I'm just actually looking for pussy. I'm that desperate.
Yeah, exactly. No. I'm just trying to catch what's left.
I'm seeing what I'm so horny right now.
Yeah.
I bet if I had coke, I wouldn't be here.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is, coke makes your dick not work.
Oh.
Yeah.
Then I probably won't ever do it.
Yeah, it's not good.
If I woke up and I couldn't get hard, then I would kill myself.
Yeah,
that's gonna be the day.
I remember there were times where that's one of the reasons my girlfriend and I broke up is because I was not being a good boyfriend because I was on cocaine all the time. But then there were nights where she would be like let's go, we're gonna go home and have sex later. And I'd be like, yeah, Tiff, absolutely. And then she'd be like, all right, I'm gonna go home, and I'd be like, all right, I'm gonna hang out here for a little bit longer, and then I would end up doing coke, and there was no sex happening then, and I was coming home late, like hours late. She was asleep. I was not. It was just not good. So now I'm sober.
You can't. You can't just go down on her for like 45 minutes while you're all coked out.
Yeah, I'm really good at it because I was doing this. I was a lot of licking lips. I couldn't feel my teeth or my lips or my nose. But yeah. So I'm like 21 months sober. I have I go to meetings sometimes. I have a book I read called Keep It Simple. I read it every morning. I do my shit. I do my work.
Congratulations.
Thanks, man. It's a real fucking hassle.
Now you're healthy. Rock climbing.
That's right.
Bowling.
I used to rock climb all hungover, and I'm so much better now.
Is that a good hangover cure?
Not really, but it was just like a punishment. I would just treat it like a punishment.
Because I've always found like going for a run, it feels terrible, but I think it makes it go faster.
Well, I would just climb, that's the other thing is I would climb high all the time, just smoke weed. I would never do coke and climb, but I would smoke weed and climb, and that was just the normal. Coke all night, smoke weed all day, so I feel bad, so I don't feel as bad, and then smoke weed until you can do coke.
Did that help your rock climbing?
No, I think it made me worse because I was in really bad shape and I just wanted to die and it wasn't fun. And I was just doing it as a punishment because it was like, all right, well, if you're going to do these things, you got to also still do something else.
Because there's like a lot of jujitsu guys who are like, I can see better. I can see that it's like I can solve the rock climbing problems better if I'm high. There's a lot of people like that where I'm like, I don't know, man. Cartoons are funnier.
Yeah.
I see the jokes better.
Yeah.
I understand when Wile E. Coyote, a piano falls on him and his teeth turn into piano keys.
Yeah.
It makes so much more sense.
Yeah, I don't think it made me better. But.
Do you ever ride a motorcycle while coked out? Other than the Revel? Did you ever drive one?
Drive a Revel?
drive a motorcycle on mushrooms or anything crazy?
No, I mean, when I was on mushrooms at the Den Co, I was on the back. I never drank and drove. I never drink and drive. I would never do that on a Revel. I'm sure I did a couple snoots and then rode a Revel at some point.
That makes you better. You're more alert.
Yeah, I mean.
There's people who I've seen do. I think it's like if you drink one beer and drive a motorcycle, it's like, oh, you're gonna die.
Yeah,
you're going to die. Your reaction time is already that delayed enough.
There's no way I would have ever.
No, I've seen people do it. I'm like, fuck,
that's crazy.
R.I.P.
I had a friend in high school die in a motorcycle accident.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Well, it was maybe 2 years after we graduated.
Did he get a bull bike?
I don't know what kind of bike he had. It was I don't remember what kind of bike it was, but it was slick. He was riding. Lost it, fell off, got run over.
Damn.
Mm-hmm. So I couldn't. That was the thing that I was like, all right, if I did get a motorcycle, if I wasn't already sober, I think it would help me get sober. Well, I wouldn't say help me get sober, but it made me stay sober at least to ride that because I was like, well, this is definitely how you're gonna die.
What if you get addicted to the rush of riding a motorcycle?
I'm addicted to everything else now. Addicted to getting tattoos. I'm addicted to rock climbing, gambling.
Do you think you have addictive personality?
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
Yeah.
You might really like motorcycles.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I'm sure I would.
I recommend them.
The adrenaline, I'm sure, is incredible. I mean, I got rushes from riding Revels, just riding a Revel downhill, just fully open it up, and they only go like 30 miles an hour, but even that alone was fun. Weaving in and out, and because it feels like I would get an adrenaline rush from riding my bike around the city, and then I would try to Revel, and I was like, well, this is awesome. I go, well, this is awesome. Motorcycles have to be even better.
Absolutely.
So I think that's definitely how it.
You ever catch air on a Revel?
I don't think so.
Don't go off a little curb. That's getting gear on a motorcycle.
No, I don't think so.
Insane. I've done one wheelie.
Oh, wow.
I was in my work parking lot, and my coworker's like, "You ever do a wheelie?" I'm like, "No, but I bet I could do it." And he's like, "No, you can't." I'm like, "I bet I could."
You've never done one before?
I've never done one, but I understand. Well, I've done them on like four-wheelers, but not on the bike that I had. And he's like, "Don't do it, don't try it." And I'm like, "I'm going to do it." And so I don't know why I was into it. Like, I was just like, I can do a wheelie. I got this again, CB 1100, not a bike you should be doing wheelies on.
Yeah.
I pop the clutch to do the wheelie, and the thing about wheelies is if you keep your right foot on the back brake, you should be safe. Because if you press the back brake at all, then it kills the wheelie. Because the back tire stops, and so you get that's a thing to remember about wheelies.
Yeah.
Don't let your back foot slip off the brake. And so I do a wheelie, and I'm like already like losing it, like doing wobbles and stuff. And I like just remember like I just jam my foot down, and I slam the forks like pretty hard to where they were like one of them started leaking oil. I had to get that fixed, but I didn't wreck the bike. And I was just like, I did a wheelie. It's like, you were almost ruined your bike. Like, I did it
almost.
though. I did a wheelie, and I'm cool, and you're a big pussy.
And you doubted me. That was the thing though. I remember looking at bikes, and everyone's like, well, you're going to lay it down once. And it's like, well, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I don't want to do it even once.
So when I sold it, when you're buying a motorcycle, very commonplace to have cash in hand. Even to like, people won't let you test drive a thing without like, here's the check from my bank, here's like the actual cash to buy the motorcycle.
Yeah.
Just so they know. And so when I sold the bike, I'm like to the guy who's test driving it. I'm like, you got the money? He's like, yeah, I got the money right here. So he gives me the money. He's test driving it. He's like, okay, yeah, I'll take it, whatever. So he buys the motorcycle from me. I watch him drive it down the street, get to the first turn, and dump the bike on the, like, he literally 60 seconds ago had just bought the bike from me and dumped it. I'm like, I'm glad it's not mine.
Oh my God.
That's a very common story.
Yeah. Is
people buying and selling used bikes. And I've felt like I think he came back. He's like, I don't even know if I texted him but I could just see he was more embarrassed. Like, he just had to get out of there.
Yeah.
Which I felt bad for him, but I didn't feel bad because I had like $6,000.
Yeah, hell yeah. That's
like, damn.
Yeah, that was the thing that they told me, and I was like, all right, that makes me not want to get one because as soon as I get it all scratched up, I'm gonna be so pissed off.
Yeah, if I would get a bike here, I think I would get a what are they called? I would just get like a dirt bike with street tires. Motard? I think I would get the motard style.
You're a motard.
I am a motard at heart.
This podcast has been a motard. We just talk about rebels and motorcycles.
No, motorcycles, drugs. This is a good one.
No, I agree. I'm just saying it's been a very motorcycle heavy episode. Motard. I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, motard is a specific type of bike, and I think it's just like a dirt bike with street tires.
That sounds cool. You ever see the movie A Place Beyond the Pines?
Yes.
Damn, that's a good movie. Oh, that's fucking cool.
Supermoto. Like I said, it's just a dirt bike with street tires. And for something like New York where you have weird roads, you have potholes and stuff, you're trying to escape from the cops.
Yeah.
That's the bike. You want like nice shocks.
That's cool.
So yeah, people say supermoto, but I'm in the know. I know the real lingo. It's motards. What does motard mean? Motard. Motorcyclists in the armed forces or the police. What? That's not what that means. Except I'm going to start saying it. But yeah, more people should ride motorcycles. More men. There's too many men.
Too many men. Oh yeah, we need to get rid of some of them.
Some of us need to die, so more guys can practice polygamy with all the extra women.
My uncle had a motorcycle when I was a kid, and I remember riding it on the back of it, and I burned my leg immediately. I'm like,
hey, you get those. You write it on the inside of your calf.
Oh, yep, that's exactly where it was.
Just learn that lesson once.
Yep, exactly, 100%. He was like, I bet you won't do that again. And my mom's like, don't. I was like 9. My mom's like, don't let him do that.
Yeah, I had a scar on my leg for 5 years after it. Just a little dark spot.
Yep.
It is fun. Motorcycles give you a lot of life lessons.
Yeah.
Just like, oh, things are hot.
He had like a bunch of old Harleys he would fix up, and I was always thinking that he would maybe give me one day, and he never did.
Damn. He's still alive?
Yeah, he sucks. He's an asshole.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's one of the ones that I wish he had died in a motorcycle accident, but he didn't. Fuck.
Hey, some people live. Some people ride for like 70 years and never
he's one
lay
of
it
those
down.
guys.
And it's just like, yeah, if you are smart about it.
Yeah, he's a fucking dickhead.
It's also fun to go 120 down the highway just to see if you can do it.
Yeah. Chances are you can't, but you'll never know if you don't try.
Yeah, my bike had a governor at 120 because I'm like, I would.
He had an elected official.
Yeah, it was, our fucking elected officials made a law because I knew that I had one, and I would probably, if I had a bullet bike, I would go like, I could probably drive 160. I have no problem going over 100 miles an hour.
God. I remember
this is fun.
I remember riding go-karts as a kid, and the dad would be like, "We took the governor off." Like that was a cool thing to do. Like, the governor's gone. The governor's out. He's out of town.
How fast would the go-karts go?
I don't remember now.
20, 30?
Probably like 35. With the governor off, probably 35.
Oh, shit.
But I remember being like, 14 years old, and the dad being like, "We took the governor off this thing. It's going to open her up."
Just make it louder.
Yeah.
Yeah, go-karts rule. All the small engines on small wheel cars are too big.
Mini bikes. I've never ridden one, but I always wanted one as a kid.
The little tiny ones?
Yeah.
Who are those for?
Little kids.
But
little tiny kids. Or adults that are poor.
You know the Honda Grom?
Mm-hmm.
Honda Groms, for anyone who doesn't know, is like it's not a mini bike, and it's not a motorcycle. It's like
got those like off-road tires.
It's not like a scooter, but it's like the size of like a BMX bike, but it's a motorcycle. It's a Honda motorcycle. And the first time I ever saw one, there was a midget riding on it.
Oh.
In the lane next to me.
Ah.
And so it's this small, tiny human riding a small, tiny bike.
Perfectly
and
sized.
The very first time I ever saw it, my brain was looking at it, and I'm like, why does that guy look so far away? He's in the lane next to me. Like, it took me like full 3 seconds to realize, oh, it's a little person on a little bike.
Yeah.
And I didn't even have, my brain was like, why is that man so far away, but he's right in the lane next to me? What perspective?
Yeah.
This Lord of the
like
Rings.
an eye trick.
It really threw me through a loop. And then I'm like, oh, that's a Honda Grom. I want one of those. Those are cool. Oh, there's a little guy. I want one of those too. Win my friend group.
Yeah. I remember we had that guy that had the go-kart. We lived on like a cul-de-sac, and we were watching his daughter like do a loop. You go down and you turn and you come back. You go down, you turn, come back. And one time she went down, turned too sharp, and we just watched her flip that fucker slow motion. And then everybody bolted, took off down the street.
Yeah.
And then I was like, well, I guess I'm not getting my turn.
Oh, I remember riding. I was helping out my friend on his farm, and he had an not an ATV. It was like a 4-person. What are they called? Those UTVs?
4-wheelers? ATV?
It was
Quads?
It's a 4-wheeler, but it had like 2 seats in the front, and like
I don't know,
a seat in the back, and like a roll cage.
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
like a gator?
Probably something like that.
I don't know.
So it's bigger than a 4-wheeler,
right,
but it had 4 wheels. But
it's like a golf cart for off.
Yeah, it was like a more powerful golf cart.
Yeah. And
so I was driving it, and I've been on 4-wheelers as a kid, gone camping, all that. And I remember getting up on 2 wheels, and everyone's like, "Max, stop!" And I'm like, this is fun." And they're like, "All right, you're good at it. We get it." And I'm still doing. I'm like driving around, ripping donuts. So I do all the rest of the work, go home. The next day, I don't see my friend, and so then I'm like, "Oh!" What? And the next day, he comes to the school and he has a cast. Because apparently he tried to get up on 2 wheels and immediately tipped it over.
Tipped it and crushed his arm.
Crashed his arm. And he's like, sorry, dude.
Sorry, I'm better at that than you.
Yeah, I've been doing that for a long time. I've been goofing off.
Ozzy Osbourne almost died in a 4-wheeler.
I've almost died so many times.
Yeah, people die on those all the time. They roll them and they're so heavy.
Mm-hmm.
We were gonna ride. This is kind of the same thing. We were gonna ride jet skis in Hawaii, and then we didn't do it because they were too fucking expensive. But I've never ridden a jet ski.
It's boring. It's all right.
Is it boring? It seems like it'd be fun.
I like snowmobiles because you can go off jumps, and if the snow's deep enough, it's not like a 4-wheeler. Because 4-wheeling, it is scary sometimes when you like, oh, I almost died there.
Yeah.
Snowmobiles are still dangerous, but I think it's like a little less of a danger of like you kind of go off more jumps and like you're like, all right, I fell off or whatever. I didn't break my leg. Jet skis kind of like you don't get to do jumps.
Do you jump waves?
I guess
I don't know. I mean, I've never ridden one, so I don't know. But I'm just assuming, can't you jump waves?
I guess Hawaii has big waves, but they're only near the shore, and that would mess you up.
That's true.
So I've never liked jet skis because I remember being on them as a kid, like probably like 12, and my dad's driving a jet ski around. I'm like, okay, this is boring.
Yeah,
we're just on a lake and there's nothing to do. There's no cool. It's because it's not even like going through the woods or like going down a path or like weaving.
You can't like whip it like.
Yeah, it's just like I guess I could go in a circle or I could go straight really fast, and we're just still in this lake, and it's really cold and windy. Yeah, so I hate jet skis. I love snowmobiles. Dirt bikes and 4-wheelers are awesome.
The jet skis were like $100 for like 30 minutes. It was insane.
Yeah, it's
so stupid.
I don't know what I've never had fun on a jet ski.
Yeah, I've never ridden one, and I guess I never will.
I mean, you should once.
One of these days.
See what all the hype is.
We ended up going to rent kayaks, and that was way more fun anyway.
Yeah. That's at least like an activity. Get your blood pumping.
Yeah. It was a fucking workout. It was great.
But, you ever ridden snowmobiles? Never?
Never. Snowmobiles are like a thing that doesn't even feel real to me. It's like a thing James Bond villains ride.
Yeah, that's like you have to have a friend who is rich.
Yeah.
That's every time I've been, is my rich friend.
Snowmobile is also funny where they were like, I don't know, just snowmobile. That's what, I think not a great name.
What would you call them?
Snowdercycles?
Snowdercycle is better. Snow tracker, the tread, snow treader, tread maxer.
Yeah.
Tread. You killed it. Snowdercycle is better.
Yeah, yeah. Snowmobile just seems like a thing that they were like.
I'll shut my ass up.
Like a thing from the 30s. Where like it's a snowmobile.
I guess that's what the first ones were. Well, probably like a tank, and then they just got better and better.
So lame.
But yeah,
can you believe I came with Snowdercycle off the top of my head? That's pretty good.
I think you set me up over the course of an hour, weaving.
Yeah. How do I get this conversation to snowmobiles?
I've never been on one, but you know what is similar?
Jet skis it's not a bad name.
I guess it's water jet. Like, what is it? Yeah. There's no ski on it, though.
It's Jewish.
Jet ski?
Jet ski.
Jet ski Stein?
Ruben Jet ski.
Jet ski Goldstein?
Jet ski Goldberg.
Ski, that's like Polish.
I don't know.
That's not Jewish, is it?
I thought it was. Skis? I thought a ski was Polish.
I thought it's like Eastern Bloc.
Well, Polish people can be Jewish too.
They can be. They can be a lot of things.
It's true.
How many guys does it take to ride on? How many Polish guys does it take to turn on a jet ski?
I don't know.
2. 1 to turn it on and 1 to fill up the pool with water. Hey, there's a Polish joke right off the top of my head.
That's pretty good.
So.
This is a Patreon episode.
This would be a normal one.
Oh, okay.
Why, do you have a secret?
No, I just was gonna shout out. Every time we bring up, anytime somebody from anything Polish comes up, there's a.
This is the normal one. Shout out your friends. Shout out your Pole friends.
Yeah. I just have a friend in Poland. Pozna's Poland. I shout her out on every podcast. She watches everything. She watches every episode I'm on.
What's her name?
Alexandra.
Sorry I apologize for my racist Polish joke.
She's going to be very offended.
But in America, it's customary to make fun of you guys.
Yeah.
As being stupid.
Yeah, here it's okay. In Poland...
Do they hate Americans or?
I don't know.
No, write in the comments.
Either way, thanks for watching. She watches every episode. She's great.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, subscribe below. Get in that. Where can people find you?
Matt Bachus Sucks on Instagram. Matt Bachus on Twitch. Come find me on... I'm doing all kinds of shows in Europe and across the United States in the next couple months.
Oh, shit.
So come see me there. If you're coming to see Jeff Arcuri, I'm going to be opening for him. So if you want tickets to see him...
You'll probably be there.
I'll be there.
That's a 2-for-1.
Yeah, and if you're in New York, I'm all over New York.
Yeah, follow him. Do you have like a stream schedule or for Twitch?
No, it's too inconsistent. I'm very inconsistent. I will say
follow him.
I'm a little inconsistent, but I do stream on Twitch. I'm going to stream my bowling. I'm in a bowling league. My finals, finals are next Monday. I'm going to stream those on Twitch.
Oh, I think this will come out on. Oh wait, Yeah, this probably comes out Tuesday.
Oh, that's okay. Well, then watch the replay on Twitch. It'll be up there.
Anything else?
No, I think that's it. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for
It's been fun hanging. Go
was...
Pacers. We got to watch the Pacers game now.
Oh, is that on?
Yeah.
You should put it on.
It just started. That's all right.
Yeah. Follow Matt. Hit him up. Give him all the love.
Yeah, please support.
And that's the podcast.
Like and subscribe.
Yep. Bye.